Hello, Stacy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Phoebe. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you very much for coming to our podcast. Thank you for jumping in a short notice, and we appreciate your time, your expertise, and your insight you're going to share with us today. Thank you once again for coming.
For sure.
Okay, today we have a very important guest, Stacy Drilling by name. She's the co-founder of JumpStart People Well, and she has been an HR practitioner for years. In fact, her resume is so much that I just have to pick just one small part because if I start reading it, it's going to take the whole time. One thing that really struck out to me that was very important, that's very striking, is that you're a seasoned HR executive with a proven track record of driving transformative people strategy that enhance organizational performance and employee engagement is very key. And again, your leadership spans across service industry, and you excel in aligning talent strategy with the business goal to fuel growth and innovation. And again, another thing, again, you're, as a chief people officer, you led people strategy for rapidly growing organization, supporting 18,000 employee with almost 1,000 QSR, quick service, restaurant, and casual dining. That's a lot. Thank you very much for coming to our podcast. So we're not going to take your time. We're going to dive into what's our podcast today, and this is how it's going to go. It's going to be three parts. First of all, we're going to look at how you start your background. Then we'll discuss your current challenges and the vision you want jumpstart people well, or maybe even other things you're doing on the side. Then we'll finally wrap up by exploring any necessary step if it makes sense. Is that okay with us?
Sounds great.
Is that a good use of our time?
Yeah, it's a great use.
And again, if we can add any other thing, if there's any other area you want us to cover, feel free to bring it up in the course of discussion, or if I'm done, you can mention it. Because at the end of the day, we want to see your perspective, how you've come. I might not have all the questions, but there could be something you want to share more. Feel free to do so. And I said it's a conversation. It's not an interview, not scripted, just a relaxed conversation on how you've got this far, how you navigated the challenges in the industry, and all that now. So before we jump, so for us to start, it's a pleasure to have you once again. Can you share briefly your professional overview and your role and how you fit into a bigger picture of Jumpstart People Well?
Yeah, thanks for the question and thanks for having me again, Phoebe. So I'm a co-founder for JumpStart People. We are a strategic HR and advising firm, and we really kind of excel where we align organizations with their talent strategy. Usually this comes about when they're in some sort of cultural transformation. They need to get from one place to the next place, and they just maybe need a guide or some support and help to get there. We started JumpStart about a year ago. We're very excited to be on that journey, and we saw an opportunity in the market, Phoebe, where having my partner also has tons of HR experience, been a chief people officer in her background as well. And together we saw an opportunity to really challenge organizations to do things differently. And so what that means, so many times in HR, you get kind of rinse and repeat. It's the same program, just you see something somewhere or you find something and you want to implement it in an organization and you try to do it exactly the way someone else did. That doesn't work. You have a different culture, you have a different organization, you have different goals and objectives. And our aspiration with JumpStart is to partner with organizations to create something that's unique for them. It doesn't mean always starting from scratch, but it means being really intentional about where you want to go with your organization, with your people, and create a strategy and a thoughtfully laid out plan to do that. You can't do that all on one day. You can't do that by demanding it so and requiring your people to do that. It comes with intentionality about how do you build over time to create the culture that you want to create in your organization. And so that's what JumpStart is here to do and how we've been able to partner with our clients in order to bring some of that stuff to life for them.
Okay, that's awesome. So, how does your how does your role fit into that bigger picture, of JumpStart, of your company? Yeah.
Yeah, so as a co-founder, we also are principal consultants. So I am inside projects working with our clients every day. Whether that be setting the strategy, stepping in as a fractional chief people officer, sometimes that looks like just stepping in and supporting their existing HR team. Most of us, if you're in HR and listening to this, you've been on a team where you wish you just had extra hands to get things done. Sometimes that's also how we support. But as a principal consultant in that way, we will also step in. I will also step in and help lead those sessions, create and bring those programs to life and different things like that.
Okay, that's awesome too. So what does a typical day looks like for you? A typical day?
Oh, a typical day. I think the beauty in this role is that there isn't a typical day, which I think is probably something most HR people would say. Whatever you had on your plan for that day, it probably is non-existent by noon. The beauty in this role, however, is that we are somewhat in charge of our own world. So I will typically start the day with some deep creative or thinking time. I find that to be really helpful for me to set the pace for the day. Again, we're creating strategy or unique solutions for our clients, and so that does require that there's not a lot of things that are pulled straight off the shelf and ready to deploy. I will also then typically have client meetings and engagements, lots of business development in this world and in this role as we're building this business from scratch. But I would say there's probably not a typical day, but those are some of the kinds of activities that flow throughout the day.
Yeah. So it's like the day goes as it comes on, whatever comes in, it comes in. So there's no every same thing, same day. No. Yeah.
It's one of the things that I've loved about HR since the beginning, actually, because I am personality-wise someone who does not like the exact same thing every day. I appreciate the variability in the day a lot, and I would otherwise get quickly bored. So this fits very well.
Okay, that's it. Fits. That's good for you. So what's the major shift you're seeing in your industry right now?
Say that one more time.
The major shift you're seeing in the industry right now.
So I think one of the bigger things that I'm seeing right now, particularly with not just for HR professionals and the clients we serve, we have gone through these ebbs and flows of having so much talent available on the market that we can have our pick, to shifting where there's fewer people available for the roles that we want. I won't repeat so many of the conversations we're hearing about how AI is shifting that or modifying our work. The biggest thing that I'm seeing though is where the talent has the opportunity that you're looking to bring in, the talent has the opportunity out on the market to find a role that best fits them. And so as an organization, you can't simply say, we're going to post this job and have thousands of applicants and we're going to have our pick. They also have their pick as talent in the market. And so being able to be thoughtful in a different way about how you source your talent, how you bring them into the organization, what does that, in HR, we've talked about the first 90 days forever, but it's much more important now with folks being able to decide very quickly if they want to be part of your organization and knowing that they may have 3 or 4 other opportunities right behind yours if they so choose. And so as an organization, making sure that you understand the intention behind the role, you know what you want that role to be and become, and you are thoughtful in that onboarding and planning process to bring that to life. The other key thing, Phoebe, is making sure, though, that you aren't doing something for your new talent or your fresh talent that you don't do with the rest. And so how do you bring the rest of your organization along that same journey is really critical to retaining and holding on to the talent that you bring into your company.
Okay, awesome. That's very nice. So how has the AI impacted your business strategy so far?
Say that one more time.
I said, how has AI impacted your business strategy? Or let me say technology first, then AI. How has technology impacted your business strategy, and of course the AI, what we are seeing with AI?
Yeah, so I think this is interesting because you don't have to think about all of the ideas yourself.
Mm,
So even if we just rewind ourselves a few years ago, you would sit in a room and you would try to create all the ideas on your own.
mhm.
Um, there's validity in that, and that is a valid way. However, you can expedite
Yes.
that thinking and use it at least as a framework. What I really challenge people with is AI is a way, and technology is a way to support your business. It shouldn't then take out all thought in what you're trying to build or do for your business. And so I have run into clients who say, we this sounded good. We pulled a strategy from here and we did this and that, and it didn't work. Well, it
Yeah.
didn't work because it wasn't you.
Yeah.
But you can now feed technology your value set, your intention set, your language, your aspirations,
Mhm.
and help leverage it in a way that can think through lots of things very rapidly. So even using it to say, here's what we want to do, here's our retention numbers, here's our growth numbers, here's what we're going to do. Where do you see blind spots that I don't see today?
Mhm.
Use it as a challenging partner, not just a thought partner to, oh, a great idea, here's five more.
Mm,
No, what do you see in this that we need to be aware of? Where do you see problems given where we are today that we might need to be considering?
mhm.
And I think when companies get really um, use it as a creative opportunity,
Mhm.
then I think that also becomes fun because you're going to get so many more diverse ideas than you can, and then you have an opportunity to select.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool way that people are using it, and us too, in different ways with our clients that are open for those kinds
Yeah,
of
yeah, I like that. So
experiences.
you're very right, and that's exactly what it is. So what's working well for you now? Working well in Jumpstart now, Jumpstart people well now, and what has been frustrating?
So what's working well is we have amazing clients that have said, again, we started the business seeing an opportunity. We want to work with organizations that are mission led, values led,
Mm-hmm.
that want to do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say from a company perspective, that's working great because those are clients that are attracted to the services that we provide.
Mm-hmm.
They want to do things outside of the box. They
Yeah.
want to have a strategy that is customized for their team so team could be their whole company, that could be a leadership team, that could be a departmental team.
Mm-hmm.
Any of those different avenues are different places and ways that we support with our clients. And so um, it is it is fulfilling, I will say, Phoebe, to have clients that are reaching out and prospects that are reaching out to say, we want to do things differently. We know that it starts and ends with our team. And even if we sell widgets, we want our team to be so invested in how they support our client who buys our product, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
that we want them to have that same hospitality, that same customization,
Yeah.
and touch points along the journey that we expect them to give to our clients. And so it's been really fulfilling to see the clients reach out and say, I want that so badly for my team. I just maybe need a guide to get there.
Okay. So, but what has been frustrating? I mean, this is what is working well for you. What has been
Yeah.
frustrating?
What's frustrating
Mm-hmm.
is that one, there's not enough hands sometimes to do the work. So, but I recently read a thing that said, just remember that today's frustrations were yesterday's wishes and hopes. And so, as a small business owner, right, that's certainly it. This is a dream for us to be able to have this organization and build this company.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of these frustrations are certainly that. I think on a more basic level, Phoebe, some of the frustrations are just how many people we speak to that just say, just you build it, you give me this, you give it me what you think works, and I will implement it.
Okay.
And that is frustrating because it's not going to work,
Yeah.
right? And I refuse to be part of it when we know that there's not going to be stickiness. I
Yeah.
talk
There's
about
no
being
one size
sticky
that fits
people.
all. Yeah.
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 So it can't just be just print it and put it on the shelf and then it will magically work.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good. So, how do you currently measure success at JumpStart People Well in your business? How do you currently measure success?
For us, we talk about the difference of success and significance. And this is really important for us. We are a business, right? So it is, success does have to look like happy and repeat clients who value our service and are willing to refer us. And thankfully, that is the case. We believe in high service orientation, which means we want to be of service to every client we interact with. That looks different based on their needs. So that is a strong measure of success. Do they want to continue doing business with us? Are they offering more projects? Do we stick together in future projects and future phases? The other piece of that though is about significance and what that looks like in, I believe this at my core, teaching, as an example, teaching people how to be better leaders, how to remove friction from their day, which removes friction from their teams, which makes their teams better. That is a measure of significance for us because it means that that is a repeatable skill that that leader will carry with them throughout their future. So every life, every person that they touch on their teams, then maybe just a smidge better in their work world than it was before. And so that is really important when we talk about who JumpStart is and the types of things that we want to do. If it's a talent strategy, even that, right? How do we remove those friction points along the way that make it a bit better time over time? And in broader terms, helps create better significance for us. And so it is about making difference in that person's life in the end, whether it's at work or at home.
Okay, awesome. So, which metrics are you focused on improving now to ensure you're on the path of success?
For us, it is, I would say for 2026, we're focused on expanding that significance number because that means we've had the opportunity to be in front of more clients in different ways that would show growth for our business. That's a key one. And continuing to hold true to that. We are expanding projects with each of our clients and they are happy and satisfied.
Okay. You talk about expanding, you mean expanding beyond the service industry or just within the service industry, expanding your client base? What are you talking about? Can you throw more light on that?
So expanding, we do use, or sorry, not use, we do have clients in the service and hospitality industry. We also have clients that are in different industries.
Okay.
For us, expanding means expanding the number of clients and in the right ways that we support them.
Okay.
Not just growth for growth's sake. So both my partner and I are very adamant that it's not growth for growth's sake. It has to be right.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Okay. So okay, where do you want JumpStart people to be in the next 6-12 months?
I would like for us to have, this is a hard one for me. So, and there's a reason behind it. It's hard because, again, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And so for JumpStart, I would want us to have, I would want us to have a client satisfaction score of 4.8 or more. So on a 5-point scale, because that means that on average, we've got very high satisfaction. Again, service is part of what we do and who we do that with. I would also like to have, 25 to 30% of our clients from referrals.
Okay.
And maintaining that kind of 100% client retention rate that we still have today.
Okay. You mentioned you want your client score, satisfaction score is what you want, and you want to have about 20-30% from referral. Why referrals? You don't want new
Because
leads.
that means they're happy. That means they're talking about what service we provided to them, and that then brings meaning to it, right? They are out talking about how they move the needle forward with their networks and with their teams.
Okay, awesome. At least I now see why you want referrals. Okay, because it shows that, like you said, they are spreading the word of how well you guys serve them. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, are there specific KIs you're tracking to measure that client satisfaction? Is there any specific KI you're tracking on that?
We are tracking the client satisfaction score. We are, of course, tracking repeat clients and repeat projects. So today, even though we're just a year into business, we do have every one of our clients has extended into 2026, which is awesome, and have added on additional projects. So again, for us, that means we are fulfilling a need for them in a meaningful way. And many of these projects are very different from where we started, right? So there's a continual value add. That's a strong KPI and measurement for us. And the other, again, so the client satisfaction score and repeat clients is really important.
Okay, you keep mentioning that client satisfaction and the repeat services, and again adding more more service to what you're kind of expanding your services to them. Okay, that's very interesting. Is there anywhere? How do you make sure? How do you track that each client you serve comes back for more, and of course give the word out there for your service? How do you ensure? Is there any way you ensure that?
For us, we are listening at all times to what the needs are. And so being curious, I think it really serves a value when we're dealing with our clients. And that comes in different ways, Phoebe, whether it's we were engaged in a project specifically, but as part of that project, in those conversations are starting to hear other areas where they know there's going to be a bottleneck or there's opportunity. Making sure that we can then demonstrate value of partnership in those opportunities. That's one way that we do that. Another way we do that is that sometimes these pieces of a project are phased out over time based on how fast the organization can absorb whatever this cultural transformation is for that company. But I think the thing that is probably the hallmark is we're going to do it with excellence. We're going to be on time. We're going to be transparent, and we're going to be an amazing partner. And so those things are critical. And even if it doesn't mean they come back right now, we know that we feel very confident in the support and the product that we provide, that when the time is right, they will come back again.
Yeah. Okay, that's very good. That's awesome. Good to know. If you had a magic wand to fix just one thing in JumpStart people that is holding you back or slowing you down, what would that one thing be?
Marketing support, and I think because we're building the business, right? So we are HR practitioners, not necessarily marketers, but I think that is certainly it. And then as the business comes, enough hands thoughtfully scaled to make sure that we can provide the right support for our clients. Those would be the two things.
Okay, you mentioned marketing support is one thing that's holding you back. You mean you want to expand more, have more, client base kind of? Okay, that's the
Yes,
support.
so trying to just continue to get the word out there, right? And making sure that we can spread the word. That is part of through client referrals, but also those more organic leads, I think, are also part of how we build the business.
That's it. That makes it. That makes it. Okay. Oh, I think you really answered that. But if this process works or takes unlock for you, I mean, let me put it in a simple way. If you have more leads, more clients, that marketing support in a nutshell, what will it open for JumpStart people well in the next level? What will it open up for you?
It would open up an opportunity to impact more workplaces in a positive way. I firmly believe that. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that many people, probably a significant majority, would say my workplace needs to be better. And so the opportunity to impact more lives in more organizations is what that would unlock. And that is that measure of significance for us around making sure that we can make work better for others.
Yeah. Okay. I usually don't ask this question, but sometimes, depending on how relaxed the environment is and discussion is, because you really want to know in monetary wise or return on investment. Let's say, let's just say you're in 1 million now. Where do you want to be in the next year? Is it 5 million? Kind of. Don't tell me. You may not tell me the exact if you want to, but let's say you're doing 1 million now. What do you want your next return on investment to be on 2026 going forward?
Yeah, so for 2026, our goal right now, we had a great first year. We had a great 25, and our aspiration for 2026 is to have that revenue number doubled for 2026.
Okay, so whatever you have now, you want to double it in 2026. Okay, it makes sense. All right, Staci, that's very nice, and I really enjoy your time, your insights, and all that you've shared today. And of course, when I spoke to Kirsten and she said you're coming, I was so excited. Thank you
Okay,
very
thank you.
much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Phoebe. Appreciate